I was born with music in my bones, but guitar put me in a zone. Didn't no one know? It got me like, ooh, what am I supposed to do with the music in my bones?
Welcome to Top Hill Recording Podcast where we ask an artist, a band, a musician to come in, play 4 original tunes, and we sit down and we talk to them about those tunes, about where they've been, where they're going, what's going on in their life, just kind of fill in the story, fill in the gap. And tonight we are like totally blessed with the musicians that we have in this room. We have just 3 absolute masters, I believe, at what they do. And we are very, very fortunate to have all 3 of them. So we have Steve Sturgill, Anna Blanton, and our guest tonight, Shannon Vetter.
There's darkness inside me, but I do the shadow work. I'll try anything twice as long as it don't hurt. Take something clean and pure and then I'll darken it myself. Well, I can't believe in heaven 'cause you know I'd go to hell. There's so many damn fences that I refuse to mend. Well, I've cheated and lied, stabbed the back of my best friend. And I've taken for granted everything in this old world. And I broke the heart of my favorite girl, oh my best girl. 'Cause I'm danger, danger, don't you see? Best to stay away, no you better stay away from me. 'Cause I'm danger, danger, don't you see? Best to stay away, no you better stay away from me. And I'm not going back to the life I once knew. And there's no way to keep me away from you. Anything for money or success. I've been dealing now for 20 years, but I'm not ashamed of that. 'Cause there's not another way I know to make a decent pay. So I'll just keep on tipping until I get paid to play. We won't get paid today. 'Cause I'm danger, danger, don't you see? Best to stay away, no you better stay away from me. 'Cause I'm danger, danger, don't you see? Best to stay away, no you better stay away from me. And I'm not going back to the life I once knew. And there's no way to keep me away from you. And there's no way to change someone bad as me. Because all that I was 2, 1, 2. Woo-hoo. There's a boy with a bouquet of flowers knocking on a girl's front door. He's been trying to reach her for hours, but she won't call him back no more. There's a girl on a stage ignoring the buzz of her telephone. She's surrounded by fans adoring, but she's never felt more alone. What do you want your story to be? How can you make it true? If you don't write it, who's gonna read it? Your life only happens to you. That's where we lived in college, you and your roommates too. But I was out riding fences, couldn't keep it in my britches, and I burned those bridges for you. That's the motel I snuck off to. That night I got drunk, classmate. But when I stumbled home and saw the look in your eyes, I didn't have anything to say. What do you want your story to be? Make it true. If you don't write it, who's gonna read it? Your life only happens to you. And when you get tired of living, you'll spend your days remembering the choices you made, and whether or not you had the courage to be honest and true. There's a tired but happy old couple sitting on a screened-in porch. They've been together for most of their lifetimes, and they'd give anything for more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab a wrench and a black shirt. The steward's acting like a big flirt. I'm out here giving up my Saturday night, so why's the tour manager looking for a fight? I'm only here for the paycheck. Not too many years that I got left, and even the bands I used to want to see don't mean nothing to me. I don't want to die for rock and roll. I don't want to suffer from blues and soul. If I break my own body down, what will I do next? Need something more than a side gig. What's gonna happen if she gets sick? And ain't had insurance since 2015. My 40's coming up, looking rough and mean. We never thought we could afford kids. Sometimes logic don't play into it. A searching hand in the middle of the night. I ain't never been one to put up a fight. I don't wanna die for rock and roll. I don't wanna suffer for blues and soul. If I break my own body down, what will I do next? I don't wanna push myself too far, fall asleep behind the wheel of a car. If I break my own body down, what will I do next? Started out for the love. We just wanted to be closer to the music. something more than just to stay stoned. Just to stay stoned. Stay stoned. I don't wanna die for rock and roll. I don't even know if I believe in a soul. If I break my own body down, what will I do next? I don't wanna die for rock and roll. I don't wanna suffer from losing soul. If I break my own body down, what will I do next? I don't wanna push myself too hard, get drunk and then drive a car. If I break my own body down, what will I do next? If I break my own body down, what will I have left? I've been waiting most my life for the perfect girl I could call my wife. Fell in love 2 or 3 times, but there was always something I just couldn't abide. Something in the back of my head said run. No, I didn't want to do things like my parents done. Maybe this time all that's through, and I found a way to make it back to you. I'm gonna have to settle. Gonna have to settle for war and peace and elbow grease. Gonna have to settle. You've been moving since you were young, an army brat who don't believe in guns. So as soon as you were old enough, you left home and couldn't see enough. From one coast to the next, you traveled through school and work and mental battles. Maybe this time all that's through, and you found a way to make it back to you. You're gonna have to settle. You're gonna have to settle for war and peace and elbow grease. I'm gonna have to settle. Settle in for the night. Settle down, baby, don't fight. Settle up, let's go home, and you'll never have to sleep alone. I've been waiting most my life for the perfect song to materialize, but no matter how hard I try, I can't think of nothing profound to write. I'm gonna have to settle. Gonna have to settle for war and peace and rhyming schemes. 5 chords and a melody about love and fights and sleepless nights in a home that we could call our own. It might not work, but we're gonna have to try to settle.
Better.
Woohoo.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
man.
Hello.
How are you all doing? It's been already an amazing
We've been
night.
chilling for a while, and it's been very fun. I hope you all have had fun.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming in. It has been amazing. Tonight has been one of those nights. We have good nights a lot. It seems like they're happening more and more and more, where we have a group in, and it's awesome. But tonight was really special. Totally special night. You all came in, absolutely played 4 amazing songs, Shannon, that just...
Thank you.
You know, I think the thing that I got out of all those tunes is you have a way not only to convey a story, which a lot of songwriters can write a really good story. There's so many musicians, not so many, but there's some songwriters out there that can write an amazing story. But there's not a ton of them that can get you to feel a way. And it doesn't even... third song tonight, Local Crew, that you mentioned was about being a stagehand, but if you didn't know that beforehand, you're thinking on so many different levels about not only thinking, but feeling so many different ways. And so thank you, number one, for coming in and bringing those tunes, but also giving, I think, all of us just a vibe and making us feel a way, however that is. I'm sure individually it's all different, but to be able to do that in a song is awesome. And it doesn't happen a ton. It really doesn't. So I think for me, that's why tonight is such a special night, such a different thing, because you came in, you brought those songs, and they are amazing, well-written tunes, but they make you have a feeling. Yeah. Would you agree? I mean, do you think?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, great tunes. And like we talked before, you and I just did a show together, and just like not that long ago. And I got to hear at least, I think, a couple of these tunes you did that night. And it was very cool to hear like the group. And I know that you have like a bigger band, but this was a very cool setup. I loved the 3-piece. Neil will tell you this. I say this all the time, but I really respect like a 3-piece band, because I feel like there's just nowhere to hide. Like you just are what you are.
Well, this was our first time.
Really? What?
This was our first time as a 3-piece.
Killer.
The bass player and our drummer are just fucking great. It's a super solid rhythm section. And yeah, like I was saying, I'm super excited right now because we are bringing some horns on for our big stomp show.
Oh my God.
On Friday, July 26th at the Waterfront Big Stomp. But so we, Anna and I have played together a bunch as a duo and done bar gigs and patio gigs, and Steve and I have played together a bunch. And just the harmonies and the musicianship and the adaptability of these two is just fucking incredible. So it made sense. It made sense tonight. Pardon my language. It made sense tonight to like bring them, because like that's such a big part of like my band. And I mean, these are the aces in the hole. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
A couple of them.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Anybody that's been around, this is going to be episode 228, I do believe. So we've seen...
Let's go.
Appreciate it. We've seen a ton of musicians, but anybody that's been around Louisville music has heard all of your names. It's not... none of you are a secret. The more I have been a secret weapon. I know that all of you just know what you're doing. I mean, there's something to be said, like Earl said, about having a 3-piece. We kind of just gave a quick listen to some of the stuff you did, and everything sits so well. Steve's on that first tune, the background vocals, he knew as a pro to don't overpower what's going on with Shannon. I mean, to give him the space and turn my head and sing these vocals, because I sing a little bit loud. This is a one mic situation. Know what you're doing. And there is some master musician stuff in what you all did tonight. I mean, and I've seen you play a few times, and every time you play, it's like putting on a clinic.
Yeah, I mean,
and
like
how
said,
to do what
we all saw you
doing.
at Fuzzy Pig, and that performance was great. We've talked about Fuzzy Pig on this show a couple times, and
totally
a lot of great acts, and yours was definitely like a standout. And so it's cool to see you. Like when you got here, I thought I already knew you because I had seen you play, and that show was so cool, and we had never had met, but. Great tonight. I really, again, the 3-piece is cool. I'm so stoked to hear you all at Big Stomp. Big Stomp, I think, is one of the coolest festivals around. If you don't know about it, it's for mental health. And there's nothing like, I think, to a person like more important than just like your mental health. If you're not mentally healthy,
and
you're really not healthy at all.
And it started as Pete Fest, correct?
Yeah.
Which you booked were Pete Fest. Is that correct?
So yeah, Pete Fest started in 2017, and we were fortunate enough to play in 2017 with Big Atomic, and then I got in touch with the Jones family, with Molly and Michelle, and because they had reached out about just having help booking, and being like having more people on their board who were in the Louisville music scene, who played music, who booked, and so I got to join up with the Pete Foundation in 2019, and I mean, if there's like Dharma, if Dharma exists, like that's it for me. Like a mental health music festival is like, of course, like that's what I want to work on. I mean, for people who are listening or watching or whatever who don't know me, like that's like a very important thing for me.
Let's
as a crazy person.
One thing that we like to do,
crazy, but you know what I mean.
Well, one thing we like to do on this podcast, especially Shannon, you are as awesome as Anna and Steve are. You are our guest tonight. So what we would like to do, and what we generally do for first-time guests, is we really like to kind of go back and get your backstory. We want to go back from as early as you can remember, it kind of like, what it was about music that kind of dug into you and what made you do it, and just when you knew that there was going to be the thing that you really had to do. So we haven't done that question in a long time, but I think tonight it's important to really kind of step back and do that. So that's the question for you tonight, man.
Well, I'll make it as quick as possible because Steve and Anna are super funny right now. They've been like
they have been fun,
telling fucking jokes. We've got some great dad jokes from Steve already. We love a pun. We do.
Insert video here.
Swell. That was swell. Yeah. We'll do a little outtake here and just go some. We have 5 dad jokes that we've caught on camera from Steve accidentally tonight. So we're gonna splice them in here. But yeah, I mean, my parents were both born in 1950, and my dad went to Woodstock. My mom marched on Washington, and I grew up. All right, you guys are like, all right, drink a beer. Here it comes, the monologue. But it's just, I grew up on like early rock and roll, and like the oldies, what we call the golden oldies. So I love rhythm and blues and rock and roll, and played classical saxophone, played drums in a real shitty Southern rock band, played in a bluegrass guitar, played bluegrass guitar, tried real hard to, in like a folk band. We called ourselves Bargrass.
Bargrass.
Yeah. Played saxophone in a shitty jazz band, like that just played all over town as much as we could. Played standards and then played saxophone in like a funk jam band. Yep. So that's
kind of everywhere.
Yeah, just kind of all over the place. Yeah, and but I love like being able to write my own tunes, and I made my first album like 6 years ago. No, that's not fucking true. Goddamn, how long? 8 years ago, some amount of time ago, and I'm still like proud of that record, but I like made that record because I was writing songs that weren't good for Big Atomic, the funky jam band, and weren't good for Gideon's Rifle, the string band. I was just like writing tunes that just weren't good for those projects. And I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And I've just been really lucky and really blessed the last year, honestly, to get to play with Anna and Steve and have a band who trusts me enough to play my songs out, and like play under my name and drive a couple hours and hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I've been really lucky.
Well, luck is one thing, and then having crazy tunes like you guys came in and absolutely nailed down is another thing. One of the I think of Aaron Biebelhauser, who didn't he have produced your last record or help you make that last record?
Yeah. Aaron and I had such a little sweet setup, and I won't waste too much time about it, but I reached out to him, and he was just sort of like, well, what do you need? And I came over and I just like played him like 13 songs, on acoustic guitar in a row. He was just like, okay, cool. Like cool tunes, And then we like it was almost like a pre-production thing, like where he helped me out with like arrangements, and he was just like a good critical listener. And we got into the studio and it was just like I said, it was just aces. It was, Chris Rodahaffer and Anna and, Billy and Scott T. Smith sang backup vocals, and Todd Hildreth, who's the piano professor at Bellarmine, played keys. And so it was just kind of like, we kind of knew what we were doing, and we didn't really like produce a ton in the studio. It was more just like, okay, we just hired a bunch of great people and everybody's just going to come in and fucking shred. Like everybody's just going to lay it down and shred. And so, but yeah, Aaron's great. Sorry, go back.
But no. I mean, it kind of makes it lines up. You got somebody that goes, "All right, yeah, I help you." They don't do it. Money and all that stuff's great, but if they don't have something they believe in, number one, they don't help, and number two, they don't get on board, which leads to you all. I mean, what was it when you heard some of these tunes and kind of was approached by Shannon about this project, and even kind of the 3-piece setup tonight, which is super sweet. I'm mind blown. This is the first time that you all have done this out anyway. I'm sure you've done it in a room, but holy shit, man. Crazy.
No, I've never done it in a room either.
What?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
So.
Earlier today.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got together like an hour before we got here, and I was like, hey, so like I work at Bernheim Forest, which is like really far away. And I was like, I'm actually going to be in downtown Louisville for my own therapy session. So mental health's a big thing for me. So I was like, y'all want to actually kind of run through these songs before we do this? And they were like,
Great idea.
So we did at the Monarch.
So we play in a band.
Monarch.
Yeah, at the Monarch. We had a little
sweetest-
rehearsal.
Our sweetheart,
Yeah, Mark's
the
awesome.
Monarch.
To just for transparency, we were in a band together. We do play
Yes.
in practice all the time. We've never done a 3-piece.
The
No,
arrangement.
It
It's
is
different.
different.
Like,
Yes.
It's different.
Spencer's in my band. We usually play as a 4-piece, but sometimes we do duo stuff. And it's different when you got 2 acoustic guitars. It is it's a different thing than the whole band. And I mean, you all it was awesome. It really was cool. I say this a lot, but like I work all day on Mondays, 10 hours, and I come in here and you don't, like everyone who comes in is good, but it's always cool to see some like really pro musicians and someone that I just played with and see this new setup is extra fun. And like it always like kind of energizes my evening after a long day of work to see like an act like you're also. It's very cool.
It's probably interesting in your situation because you guys you were acoustic and you heard a couple of these tunes.
Yeah.
So it probably is neat to see these songs expand, but also to see how they expand with you all, your touch on them. Because I imagine, Shannon, you're not, you don't have Anna and Steve come in and you go, here's what you're going to play. You just go, all right, you all do your dance, do your thing.
Right. That's 100%, Neil. That's 100% my philosophy is like, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. I was just like, well, why like tell people what to do? Just get people who are smarter than you around. Like obviously, like I'm not the guitar player Steve is or the fiddle player that Anna is. So like, why would I ever write their parts for them?
Yeah,
that's dumb. Some of the best shit that we've come up with, Steve just writes off the top of his head. Like I feel like I was just like, oh well, yeah. Then now that's the song. Like before it was C sharp minor, E and A, and now it's. It's written. Like now it's finished,
Come on, Steve. What do you think about that? You're dying behind that mic, man. I can see you thinking.
No, I appreciate you saying that. And but no, when there's a good tune with a good melody, it makes it easy to I won't say write. I mean, like arrangement, the song and the melody are already there, but it makes it when it's a good melody that makes you like feel like playing something around that. It makes it easier to do.
All right, question for you. I guess this is for everybody, but it sounds like your brain kind of sounds like mine, to where when you hear a melody, you hear the E and the C sharp to the D and E. There, you hear all the steps. There's the dance, where it can be simple, but you can make it simple. I think of like Tony Rice. Tony Rice plays GCD, but holy crap, he dances everywhere. He plays jazz chords.
Nobody plays them like he does.
Yeah. So is that kind of something that when you hear what he does with the melody, Anna, same to you, do you hear that? Do you hear those things, those chords that really kind of drive the song into where it needs to go? Maybe not where it needs to go, but where it does go.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of what guides everything is the melody and the rhythm, everything that's there, the chord structure and all that kind of guides where it does go. It's not really, it's kind of hard to just superimpose something on top of something if it's not already there, in some sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I had a great conversation. It's been a number of years ago with a songwriter from Kentucky, Ian No. We had a box of wine and we were drinking it together till probably 2 a.m. And he's like, you know what makes a great song? And I was like, what? And he's like, a great melody.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say Shannon is really masterful of not just great lyrics, but a great melody.
Mm-hmm.
And for a fiddle player especially, if you don't have a great melody, it's hard to come up with those fiddle riffs. And Shannon does a really good job of writing great lyrics and melodic structures.
There's like a comfort level. It's not predictable, but it's like memorable. It's almost like some of your melody lines, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like familiar.
Yeah,
like it's different. And kind of to bounce off what you said, yeah, your melodies are so good. Even if your words were kind of nonsense, the songs would be still good. But your lyrics are fantastic, and all these tunes were just so well written. I love "Settle." Like, is that the name of that last tune?
Yeah.
I love. You played that when we did our show, and that it sounded so good then. But with these two, super cool, and it's just a beautifully written song, and I can respect that because I feel like I can hear melody, but I don't always write like necessarily the best or the most like profound lyrics, and so I really like your songwriting.
Well, I'm like still struggling with getting away from autobiographical shit and like writing like a real writer, being a real writer and writing like fiction and like really, because too much of my stuff is just super autobiographical.
That's interesting that you say that. I think that people that don't write stories that do write like that, I tend to think that. I've recently thought that about some of the stuff that I've written, and I've tried to get away from it, and it's hard to. It's really kind of it's kind of like an exercise to really kind of think in a structure other than like outside of yourself. Finish the story, but it's funny coming from you in my perspective because you're so well rounded as a storyteller, not just a songwriter, but a true storyteller. There's not just you're not just throwing words on a paper. There's a purpose to it. There's intent. There is a rounded out idea when you're done, and that is, I think that's something that if you're not a pro, you kind of struggle with. And I consider you as a songwriter, definite pro, man. Definite
Thanks.
pro. It's so good.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just that shit like that. It's just like, oh my God, I'm telling secrets. I'm just telling secrets. And even when it's like obviously like a little bit hyperbolic. Is that a word? Do people say hyperbolic?
Yeah.
Even when it's a little, sorry, I'm just like slowing down.
I don't know if I've heard hypobolic though.
Hyperbolic.
Yeah, hyperbolic is definitely a word. I don't know about hyperbolic though.
Superbolic.
Subbolic. Have to have an inverse.
Extrabolic.
even when I'm exaggerating, it's still just spilling secrets, for sure. And but I think the most important thing for me has just been, well, just try to be authentic and try to be real. And then I think people will connect to it no matter what it is. If you're being authentic and you're telling your story, then people are going to connect to it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, no joke. Like, the one thing, so many things. I said melody, lyrics. One thing that draws me to Shannon's music is it's 100% authentic. Like, there's so much inauthentic music out there that I really appreciate the authenticity of Shannon's music.
Cold beer on a Friday night. Pair of pants that fit just right.
I mean, I appreciate all those things too. I like a good pair of britches.
Whereas when I write,
And a beer on a Friday night.
I do love all those things.
I love all those things.
He's not wrong.
He ain't wrong.
Fuck.
Sorry, that just went off.
No, perfect.
No, that was
That's where it's
awesome.
needed to go for a long time. Finally, we got here. Goddamn. Oh my God.
As long as it is Modelo.
Modelo.
Learn
Brought
all
to you
the
by Modelo. Yeah. I would.
we're working on a sponsorship.
From Modelo.
Modelo. Because we were brought to you by
Modelo fellow.
Oh, what were you saying earlier? Never mind.
Good question, though.
All kinds of
Keep
stuff.
it moving.
The
for
Modelo
us.
Bago.
Modelo, dude. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, Steve said it
Modelo
earlier.
Bago.
He
Alright,
said
so
the
you know,
Modelo Bago.
it is one of those like 1986 Toyotas. That's the actual Toyota truck with the huge camper bed on it.
Nice.
That's the Modelo Bago.
Yeah, you know, my first
I
vehicle
won't
was
even
a
sleep
88
through you,
Toyota pickup.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. It'll sleep 6.
Yeah?
That thing is awesome. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I see them on Facebook Marketplace all the time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Tour
I'm
van.
addicted. I'm addicted to like looking for shit that I don't need.
Yeah.
Do y'all do
Yep.
that ever?
Of
All
course.
the time.
Online shopping, drunk online shopping.
Sometimes
Come
I buy
on.
That's dangerous.
I don't even know if you call what I
Dangerous
do
game.
online shopping. I like look at shopgoodwill.com and Facebook
Nah, dude.
Marketplace.
You know Shop Goodwill.
You know Shop Goodwill?
Yes.
Do you know Bid FTA?
No.
Oh, you don't need to know. It's another addiction. But yeah, Shop Goodwill is amazing. Don't buy cameras from there, but like other stuff is amazing. Oh yeah. What have you got from Shop Goodwill? Anything good?
I've bought a lot of music instruments off there
That's
Yeah.
what you're
for
the-
like $10.
You're who I bid against. Now you probably,
Yes.
you buy cool
That shit
shit.
is
Yes.
Yeah, I bought all kinds of stuff on Goodwill.
I mean, music go round's amazing, but
It is.
Mhm.
shop Goodwill every now and then.
I did.
You
Here's
will
the
find-
so,
Here's a $20 saxophone. What? Okay, well,
but there's
it's going to take
also-
$800 to repair, but still.
If there's
$20
anything
sounds
good on there, it gets crazy bid up. It's like, oh my gosh, you're paying double retail for this terrible beat up instrument because it's got a cool name. So you gotta know what you're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, Shop Goodwill. But don't look up the bid FTA thing. Whatever that is, it's amazing. It's awesome.
Not gonna do
It's
it. Not gonna
awesome.
do
So it's
it.
just for the all you live, and this is the sponsorship that I want. it's like all the stuff that gets returned from Amazon and Target and Wayfair and all that stuff. It can be totally fine. It's just the wrong product. They can't resell it, so it goes on this little auction site. So I've gotten. Let me think. What's the least? What did I get? I got. All right. So that greenhouse that I'm building out there. I got a solar fan, $300 solar fan for like $50. Brand new in the box. As soon as I took it out of the box, the fan started going. It was the coolest shit ever. All right,
yeah.
sorry. Let's talk about music.
We'll edit that out later.
No, it's all staying, man. I want them to. I still want them to sponsor the podcast.
There you go.
This is what happens when you give Anna an interview microphone. I warned you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I blame you for that. Sorry about that. Totally sorry.
Oh, shoot.
So, the songs you played tonight, They are the newer tunes that you have.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about where those came from and do you have stuff in the works? We also mentioned a Halloween song, which we do have to get into.
Yeah.
But where are you at? Where's your brain heading? What are you thinking about right now going into what's getting ready to happen?
I mean, it's July, so it's tough. A little tough to think about making a new album right now, just because we're super busy. We're gigging a lot. But I think it's taken shape. Like I'm starting to see the bones of it, which is very exciting to me. I mean, I think like the story is coming into place a little bit in my head, you know.
Just here, not here. Do you know any of the stuff he's referring to? Song wise?
Do you all know what the fuck he's talking about?
Yeah, I know the story.
That song, the story.
Well, thank you, Captain Obvious, on that one.
But yeah, like
those are definitely coming together.
Yeah, we put out an album, last year, but we just put it out on Spotify this year.
Okay.
But yeah, we had been working on that record most of last year, and I think it came out great. I love the record, but the band has really taken shape since last November. Getting Steve and Anna and Billy and Ben and me like locked in, it's really been a blessing, and it kind of changes the writing process in a way, because when I wrote the album, I was just like writing by myself, you know, basically. And then like brought in everybody to make the record with me, and, you know, just made the record and kept the band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome.
You know, that doesn't happen a lot, right? Most of the time you just, you know, you have the band and everybody goes to do their own thing. Not everybody generally sticks around for that, right? That's not the case, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned earlier, you worked with like Roadie and Billy and on an earlier, I used all them on my EP, and so they're not in my band. They're not in Lance Walker Gill.
Well, yeah.
But yeah,
Roadie and Todd Hildreth and Scott T. Smith are not in my band.
Yeah,
obviously. Steve is fucking has totally changed the band, because Steve sings fucking background vocals.
Great back
and
vocals.
shreds guitar.
Yeah, great picker.
Shreds guitar and can get that. So Steve and I have this theory that it's like Eastern Kentucky a little bit that helps us blend better, because I feel like I don't blend well as a singer, but I love singing with Steve, and Anna too. I love singing with Anna. Like we've never done a gig as a trio, but I've done a ton of gigs with both of them as duo gigs. Because it's just like, I don't want to fucking play songs by myself for 3 hours.
No, not if you have that option either.
Like, I want to jam with one of my friends, and they just sound so good on harmony. So it's been so different, you know, because I had been writing those songs, and over years and years. Some of those songs were old, some of those songs were brand new when we recorded them for the album Holding Pattern is what I'm talking about. But it's just been so different. You know how it is. You got a good band, you're going to write for the band a little bit. You got a good band, they're going to write their own fucking parts.
Yeah.
Because they'll hear their songs, they'll go test them out on the road. They'll test them out live, and then they'll record them, and they're better.
Yeah.
Sometimes songs don't really solidify until you record them, and then it's just like, oh yeah, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But having a band, of course, is just like going to make your record 100 times fucking better. I'm not going to Nashville and fucking like blowing my retirement fund.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we have all the talent in Louisville.
Louisville's sick. Right?
We got a ton of talent.
It really is. Yeah, you know, your approach to, I think the way that you write and allow, you go, hey, I've got these unbelievable musicians. I'm not going to step on their parts. I'm not going to step on their toes. I'm pretty certain you've been like, a song's been shaped by some of their parts after you brought it to the band because it just got better once it got into their hands. I can only imagine the trust level, because you bring this killer song and then you say, I'm a hands-off person when it comes to what you're doing. Holy crap. That's how you number one, get trust inside that band, and you get tight. And from November to now, you get so much better. Because you can have great musicians if they don't hear each other, they don't listen, they don't allow each other space. Like tonight, just listening in the headphones. I had the privilege of listening, Earl and I, in the headphones the whole time. And to hear the space that you all create between the three, you fill it up, but you also allow so much space for each other to do the things that you do individually that make this thing beautiful as a three-piece. So I can't imagine horns. I can't imagine what Big Stomp's going to be like. I can't imagine the things moving forward that are going to happen and the sound that you are going to create in this version of what you all do. It's super exciting for me. And just exciting, I think, as a listener of music to know that that's how you all are working. You're not working in a space where it's just, this is how we're going to do it. You're working in a space of, let's create, see how this goes. It's really, really cool, really inspiring. So fun to see.
Yep. I mean, I played sports, so my sports analogy to it is like when you have a good team, you just let them play. And I feel like you have a good team.
Yeah. Totally. That's, man, baseball pitcher, you guys. Pikeville. What's up? That's your area, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Before we get out of here too much, let's just kind of go one by one and give some flowers and just say, see what you're doing. Steve, we'll start with you, Steve Sturgill. What you up to, man? Where can people find you? What are you doing? Are you playing with other musicians? If not, what else you do? It seems like you're a bit of a interesting fella.
Well, this weekend I'll be playing Friday night with Tristan Brook up at Melwood Tavern.
Okay.
She and I have played together for many years, and then
love Tristan.
Saturday night I play in a band called Solar Flannel, and we're playing out at St. Agnes.
All right, Solar Flannel.
Picnic.
Did we go see Solar Flannel? Did y'all play at Melwood a while back?
Yeah, we played at Melwood quite a bit.
I swear I've seen you guys, and that was a really
we
fun
used
night.
to play at Melwood Tavern. We still do. We just used to.
We used to too. Yeah.
So you're just doing a little bit of everything all the time, huh?
Yeah.
So is that
try to stay busy,
Good.
Steve's a great keys player too.
Oh, you're a keys player too, huh?
And
I play keys in a band called Little Band.
Little band. That's with Danny Flanagan. Is Brian
Jeff Faith?
Is Brian who plays
Carrie
drums?
Shields.
Who plays drums?
Carrie Shields.
Carrie Shields plays drums. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, that's a good Little Band. That's right. Is that Danny's original band?
Yeah. So, he's had the Rain Chorus for years and years. And, there's more of them. That's why we're the Little Band. But, we, of course, do a lot of Danny's originals. And we did a record, of Danny's originals a while back. And, but live, we also do a lot of covers, and it's all over the map. Danny just knows so many songs.
He's so good, man.
Yeah. It seems to be the thing, man. He plays a little bit of...
He's a great songwriter.
Yeah, I've messaged him, I think, to get in here. I got to get Danny in here. Tell him he needs to get his
I'll
butt
tell
in
him
here.
too.
Will do.
Tell him, man. We need Danny in
He's
here.
a great songwriter.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that's been in the Louisville music community for a very, very long time.
Great writer, great player, great singer. That's all the way around.
Does he host some open mics from time to time too, as well?
He used to do like a Monday special at the Raven, and they have closed that, and he has not reopened it yet. But I have a good feeling he will.
Okay.
I went to one of the last ones, and he just has a very dedicated fan base, and I believe he'll open it back up.
Cool.
So
cool. Yeah,
it's a good thing.
All right, get on it for me. All right, Anna, I know you're doing a million things. I've already asked you to bring like 3 other people in this place. So,
I play pretty much every weekend. I have 4 regular artists that I play with, and with Shannon in there. So I play with Tim Gooden. He's from Pineville, Kentucky.
Great. Yeah, Tim,
So-
super, super good.
I'm in the Blue Gems. I play with a bluegrass band from Hyden, Kentucky called the Creekers. And and then from Southern Indiana, an all-female band called the Bourbon Britches.
Yeah, Bourbon Britches
We're
are
big fans.
ridiculous.
So they all keep me pretty busy.
Do we
And-
talk about the Bourbon
yeah.
Britches thing on here, or do we just talk about it?
I don't know, but
All right, we're gonna talk about this for a second
Okay.
because Fuzzy Pig, Bourbon Britches, the always play Freebird, right? Play Freebird.
all of us have heard it.
And I mean, it's like late. Everybody's had a day of just having a real nice time. On our end, I don't know about what y'all were doing up there, but we were having a good time. So, everybody just thinks that nothing's going to happen. Just play Freebird, and y'all kind of... Everybody, I don't know if you're with me or you're in front of the stage.
I leave here tomorrow.
Oh, wow, this is cool. Keep going. This is nice.
I just thought it was cool how Steve cracked a Modelo.
Oh, I was trying to get that behind the mic.
Brought the big
No,
boy.
we fucking heard you. Crinkling the bag, opening the Modelo.
But yeah, we
Now you
all
had to draw attention to it. So.
we all thought Bourbon Britches, man, this was gonna be like just a one line deal to
Yeah,
like
30
sing.
seconds
Okay.
of the song.
Let me preface before you keep going. You get a bunch. Okay. You get a bunch of pretty women on stage. I have come totally backwards. I was like, I'm going to get these powerhouse female musicians in a band together. But I have found lately, I got a bunch of not just powerhouse musicians, but good looking female musicians, and people don't take us seriously.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then
Is that
they hear us
really?
play and they're like, oh, fuck.
Are you
Good for
saying
you.
They can actually play.
that bothers me and blows my mind. That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Like for real.
I have a harder time
totally
getting us
believe
to
that.
get taken seriously than any other band I've ever played with. Probably because we are easier on the eyes.
Way
That's
easier.
That's dumb.
And
though.
it
Than me and Steve.
kind of ticks me off a little bit. I'm like,
So,
okay, you want to
Bourbon
yell
Britches
Freebird
is
at
Steve
us?
and Shannon, y'all are beautiful.
Yeah.
Number one.
Different.
But number two,
Little
that
different.
really,
I know that sucks.
no, it's dumb. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Super dumb.
I know it's real, but this is the first time that this conversation's been had, and that
On the
bothers me.
podcast in 250 episodes, you've never talked about sexism in the music industry?
It's never been brought.
That's
in this-
sexism right there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is.
That's the privilege right there.
So,
Yeah. I mean, it does. I guess because I don't come from that. I don't come from a place where I think anybody's better than anybody else. So it does. I wouldn't have stopped if it didn't bother me. Otherwise, this would have just went right on to the
Right.
next question. It bothers me that that's real,
It's-
and I know it's real.
Yeah.
I guess, but it's never been in this room, and it does bother me that is the case. So
At least no one's ever said it.
Nobody's ever said it.
That's it. That's
it
terrible.
pisses me off because, when I'm watching you all on stage, headlining one of the coolest festivals, I see four of the baddest musicians that are there. I don't see anything else, and it really does bother me that is the case for you all, because it shouldn't be that way. And you are right that me not thinking about this before this second is a privilege. It is I do live. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are gay, so I don't come from a place where I don't think about things in a way. But I have never sat back and thought about that.
Yeah, I went and played, I'm not going to say which festival, but I went and played a fundraising event for said festival. And I was talking to the promoter, and, I was like, yeah, Bourbon Britches would love to play your festival sometime. And the remark I got in response was, oh, yeah, I would love to have 4 good-looking women on stage.
Oh.
And I'm sitting here, and I immediately was like, I will never bring the Bourbon Britches to your festival because of this comment.
Yeah.
because it's not.
We're too good for that. You're too good.
How about you would love to have 4 amazing female musicians who can shred their instruments on your stage?
Arianna Barton, great singer, great songwriter. Kelsey Walden, fucking killer drummer.
Unbelievable.
Just forever in the game. And now Kendra Lemire on bass from Villa Lemire.
Nasty.
Just shredders.
Just absolute shredders. That's the word. They're all
Great
you
singer
all.
and songwriter in her own right.
Great
Villa Lemire that was the highlights of that weekend for me were personally Villa Lemire and Bourbon Britches blew my mind. And
Bourbon Britches have always fucked.
Well, that was that was the first time that I was able to see you all. So it was crazy. It was awesome. But I'm glad that you brought this up because it really did.
It's probably the Modelo. I'm feisty.
No, it's good. This is good.
How many Modelos does it take for
the truth to come out?
Full Blanton.
For us to deconstruct.
We got full Blanton right now.
Yeah, man.
Not many, I guess.
The patriarchy in the music industry.
It sucks.
Going full Blanton.
You're getting Blanton right now.
You just got Blanton.
I'm going to stamp it. It's going to be a Blanton stamp right across. You just got Blanton right across the screen. It's going to be amazing.
So silly.
Oh, yeah, man. That's important. I don't want to gloss over it, but that is a big deal. And I'm glad that you brought it up. And I'm glad that my attention is that makes me think of, we've said the name before, but that makes me love the spaces like the Monarch even more.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is about your ability to put a song together, play music, and everybody's there to listen. They're not selling anything. We love the Monarch, and seriously,
Mark is a genius.
Mark
right?
is the man.
Yeah.
Check out the Career Journal piece.
They
Huge
work
article.
So hard.
They're catching on, y'all. They're finally catching on to the Monarch being the place in this city.
Oh yeah.
It's only been 2 goddamn years.
Right.
It's been
And like
crazy.
At least 200 shows.
Oh my God, no! It's
crazy.
More
I think
than
he
that.
A year, right?
More than
think
that.
he- yeah.
200 shows a year.
I think he's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
like 230 or something this year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like
Which
every-
we've
he
had a
goes
few
through
of
us.
them. So thank you again, Mark and the Monarch, for letting us do
Yeah,
that
thanks,
at Top
Mark.
Hill.
That's super cool. Yeah, no. So we rehearsed there today at around 5, and I think I'm a member. I had a card, but I lost it.
Oh,
My membership may have expired. I'm sorry, Mark. They let me in. But then
Hey.
Steve came in with his card too, and I was like, oh yeah, there's enough of us that
Remember,
are
I just need one card.
Remember,
Our
by
card
proxy,
carrying-
66%, man. That's definitely
card
over.
carrying members.
Over. You're in.
And I'm
Yeah.
playing the Katie Did It singer-songwriter showcase at the last Tuesday of the
Tuesday of
month.
every
It's
month.
the last Tuesday of every month at the Monarch. So I think this month it's like the 30th, whatever the end of July is. Right there. I'm playing that. And you guys are welcome to play too.
I tell you, we've
Yeah, it would be awesome if you guys wanted to play. It would be like 4 songs. Again, it'd be fucking awesome.
I bet you can pull it off.
I'll buy you guys some beers. I don't know.
Modelo.
Brought to you by Modelo.
Yeah, we sing Katie's praises in here all the time too. We talk about the community that she builds with Louisville singer-songwriters. And many people have come through this room and said, including this guy, I would have never started and never kept going if it wasn't for Katie Did It.
Yeah.
So we talk about her quite a bit in this place.
She told me that.
It's facts.
That's awesome.
It's facts. We really do. There's
Yeah.
there is a killer Louisville community scene, music scene, and all 3 of you are a big part of it. And we couldn't be happier to have you in. But before we leave, Shannon, you got to kind of tell us what you got going on. And we know you play all the time, a million different projects and things you do. What's going on with you right now?
All right. So this Sunday, I'm going to play at this little place called The Last Refuge. And it's in New Lou. It's like a church, old church, like reconverted into a Reconverted's probably not a real word. That's probably like a stoned word.
Bob Dylan's behind it, isn't he?
Reconverted.
Bob Dylan's behind that place.
Bob
isn't he?
Dylan
it's
is
like
behind the venue.
outlet for his bourbon.
Yep, exactly. So there's a new venue kind of restaurant bar on the edge of Nulu called The Last Refuge that one of my buddy runs sound for and kind of does the booking for. So I'm going to be there on Sunday. Check it out. It's a super cool space.
Sweet.
And then we're doing the big stomp on Friday the 26th.
That lineup's crazy.
Yes, it is. Great lineup.
Good. It's so
Bad,
good.
Bad, Not Good. St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Black Angels.
Come on.
Bully.
Come on.
Sasquatch. Ben Soli.
Ellie Ruth.
Ellie
Ruth.
Ruth. My dude, Ellie. I fucking love Ellie.
We love Ellie.
She's so good.
So good.
Who else? Ben Knight. Shannon Vetter and the Sleepless Pilgrims.
Hey, all right.
So we're playing on Friday, and we're pretty excited.
Oh God, it's
And
gonna
then-
be amazing.
Yeah, and then after that, I think we got some winery gigs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go down to Cincinnati. I'm gonna do that gig at Katie's thing at the Monarch with Mark Evans, and then
You're doing Moonshiners eventually.
in October we're doing Moonshiners Ball, which
That's a great lineup too.
if you're
always
into,
is.
yeah, it's a great lineup. Daniel Donato and Cosmic Country.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
nasty.
on.
It's a great headliner.
Come on.
But yeah, if you're into camping festivals, I've been doing Moonshiners Ball since like 2014.
Oh, gee.
I've been playing this festival like every year since. I love this. This is my favorite festival in
This
Kentucky.
is it.
Even though I help run Big Stomp and I love a mental health, like mission, Moonshiners Ball has more of a moonshine mission, I guess.
Modelo.
Brought to you by
Oh, shoot.
Different beer, different kind of beer comes off it.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It is different.
Sure
Right, Steve?
does.
All right, Steve. Come on. All right, Steve. So for anybody that wants to follow you, find you on like social media, any of that stuff, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm on Facebook, just under my name, I don't.
Steve or
Yeah.
Steven?
Steve.
All right, Steve
Yeah, generally
Sturgill.
most-
Steve Sturgill, look him up. Anna, you're on all kinds of places. Where can people follow you and find you?
Anna Blanton Music.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. That's
Easy
the
peasy.
handle. My website, annablantonmusic.com.
All right.
Yep.
Shannon, what about you?
Shannon Vetter and the Sleepless Pilgrims. Shannon Vetter and my jam band Vezl. You can find me playing with Vezl.
Hoping to get Vezl in here.
That'd be sweet.
We can do that.
Oh, and shit, I'm starting to play bass.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
with Magnolia Road, a couple of my friends.
Yeah.
Super
We are
stoked about it.
familiar.
Yeah.
Jason's in my band, and so is
Mhm.
Spencer. So
Yep.
yeah, big fans of Magnolia
So
Road.
really excited to start playing bass.
Dope.
Add another instrument. He can do it all. All right, Spencer.
Just Spencer.Corbin for any of your luthier needs or anything of that nature. And then too, before I get done, I just want to say thank you guys for being people that young guys like me and gals and those other, we look up to you guys. And it's so cool to be able to come into a podcast every single Monday and get to sit, and even though we're talking about business and stuff, I feel like, we're sitting here and hanging out with friends and just kicking back and having a good time. So thank you guys for being the role models in the community.
I tell you what, that's about as little as Spencer's ever said in the podcast in the history of this whole thing. Spencer, you've been
sweet.
quiet over there at the switcher station, bro.
Yeah.
So sweet.
It's a good conversation. You can't interrupt a good conversation. And two, there's, I've been soaking up so much knowledge from
Look
everybody.
at ya.
It's
Look at
good. Yeah. So many good dad jokes.
All right, Earl.
Yeah,
What you got,
Earl
brother?
Bowman music everywhere. Yeah, and kind of say what Spencer said, kind of more concise. Y'all are just a cool hang. So thanks for coming and chilling with us. Obviously, the music was great. We're lucky to have cool artists on all the time. You all were definitely a standout, but very cool hang. I feel like we've been chilling for a long time now, and it's been really fun. So thank you all for coming on. It's been good to see you in this setting, Shannon. Like the solo set was awesome. Obviously, you got a great little band here. Stoked for Big Stomp. So yeah.
Hey, super happy to have y'all. Open invites, all of you. Bring your other bands. Bring whatever your own
Come
solo
record
stuff.
some stuff here.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, we got to do a Halloween song.
Halloween song. That we do have to end with a little bit of the Halloween song. Tell us about the Halloween. We got. All right, we already. Bridget Caitlin, I don't know if you know or not, but you're going to be in this Halloween song.
I'll be on in a few weeks, so they have a chance.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to tag you on the socials. We need the saw in this thing. We know that. So
I don't want to jinx it.
All right, we're not going to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it. I just want to record a song for Halloween. That's all I'm going to say about it. I just want to record with you guys because y'all are super talented, super sweet. Neil, Earl, Spencer.
Appreciate you.
God bless y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, follow us on Top Hill Recording.
It just takes a second.
Subscribe, do all that stuff. We'll see you next time.